welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, today we are going to talk about the reason that he doesn't love you. Or she, or they, or... Wow, this feels like we're getting off to a bad start. Anyway, let's just jump right into it and let's talk about sex. So today's video isn't necessarily about like sexy time sex, but instead it's about making your relationships better. And this theory is something that applies to not only interpersonal relationships, well, I guess yes, all interpersonal relationships, but like business relationships, romantic relationships, friendships with your family. This works for everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the Benjamin Franklin effect. Basically how that goes is if you do someone a favor, you're getting more involved while potentially not allowing them the chance to get as involved as you are. So it all goes back to cognitive dissonance. And essentially what that is whenever your behavior needs to line up with your thoughts. Doing a favor is something that we tend to do for people that we like, people that we at least are pleasant with. So if we're doing that with someone that we don't like, so say your worst enemy in the entire world, your ex, they come over and they're like, hey, can I borrow that book that you're reading? You don't want to seem like a dick, so you hand them the book, because that's the nice thing to do. And so your mind for a second is like, wait a second, I don't like this person, but I'm doing them a good deed. So automatically, your thought process is going to line up with your behavior and make you kind of feel like you like them. Even if not like a full-blown like, okay, I'm in love with you again, but you're gonna feel a bit more positive towards that person because you just did a positive thing. I will be the first to say that this was the hardest pill for me to swallow, because I, unfortunately, am that person where if we are standing next to each other in line at the grocery store and you're like, oh wow, those are some cool shoelaces. I've already named all 3 of our children. I already have our wedding decor picked out. We are in love. That's how invested I get. Yikes. Not to scare off any potential suitors out there, but yes, I love hard. And that's great because doing good things for other people is going to make you feel good. It always does. It always makes you happier. You should always try to volunteer and give your time as much as you can, but it can also be a bad thing. In one particular example, there's this boy that, you know, I'm romantically interested in, but we, our distance is about 45 minutes from each other. That's a significant drive, especially for 2 people who are working full-time and like I'm in school. So that's kind of a trade-off there. In the beginning, I kept going over there. I kept doing the drive. I was like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna do it. I kept being the one to make that compromise because I liked him. And by me always making that compromise, that automatically forced me to be more invested in the relationship. So I just was smitten so fast. I was like, oh my goodness. We're getting married, this is the man that I'm supposed to be with. Okay, maybe not that exaggerated, but you know, I was into him. And so whenever I finally brought this up to him, he was like, oh, well, that's sweet, thanks, but I just don't feel it. And so, you know, of course I'm there, heartbroken, like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? But then I thought about this. It's kind of insane how theories, oh gosh, I'm such a psych nerd, but how they come into your life at the most perfect of times. I thought about it and I was like, what is the logical conclusion for this? And then I realized I was putting in all the work. I wasn't giving him a chance to be as invested in me as I was in him. I started doing like little subtle changes. He would have to start driving to me more than me driving out that way. And then it went from he would pick up the tab every once in a while. And suddenly, instead of a completely one-sided obsession, it became a two-person, two-party involved relationship. By me offering, well, not offering, but by me letting him do as many favors for me as I was doing for him, I gave him the opportunity to not only feel good about himself, but to become part of that relationship with me. It ended up working out in my favor. It was like a little mini experiment that played off so well, because suddenly he was like, wow, you know, I am into you. I just needed some time. No, you just needed to practice the Benjamin Franklin effect. This is such an insane phenomenon, and it's really crazy. Like, if you stop and start paying attention, you're gonna notice people's attitudes changing towards you. Even like on some of your worst enemies. Remember like what I said with the ex? If someone that you don't like, or you walk up to someone that you don't like, ask them to do a favor, suddenly they like you. Congratulations. Have a good day, guys. Bye.